A lot of you guys are going through it right now. We've got a huge civil rights movement going on, and of course the pandemic, and that is causing a lot of conflict within the artist friends I'm talking to. The world is burning down. My friends have lost their jobs because their entire industry disappeared because of COVID. But look at this sick trap beat I wrote. Listen to my melodic prose. How petty is that? Stay through past the intro because I'm going to tell you why I think it's super important that you continue creating art and how the world actually needs you to keep creating. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way real quick. Here at Big Music Energy, we're trying to be the people we needed when we first started out. If you want music industry, software, and songwriting tips, smash all the happy buttons below. I'm Edmund Clare. I'm a full-time music producer in the San Francisco Bay Area. I work with a bunch of artists, some of them internet famous, a handful of them are even like super famous. It's fun. Hey, the world's burning down, but look at me dance and sing. Like I said, that sentiment has been going around for a lot of the artists I've been speaking to. They're like, how can I create art while so many people are suffering? But you know what? I have some pretty compelling reasons why you should absolutely be creating right now. Now, this is relevant to current events for sure, but this is actually always true whenever you're feeling discouraged with making art. Reason number one why I think you should definitely keep creating your art right now. Art is healing to those who consume it and appreciate it. I bet a lot of you can remember when a song got you through a breakup. Maybe it made you feel better, maybe it didn't, but it spoke to your situation perfectly, and you didn't feel alone. You didn't feel like you were the only person going through those emotions. How about times when you were in a bad mood and one of your favorite songs cheered you up? If you're watching this channel, I really do believe you've had these kind of moments, and maybe you still have these kind of moments. The reason you need to keep creating is now is your chance to be that for someone else. It's like magic. You can help heal. Even if you're not speaking directly about current events, your art, your performance might be creating a safe space for people to emotionally escape for a while. And it's crazy how meaningful and important that is for someone. Especially right now, right? I don't know if you guys realize this, but that's kind of your job as an artist, to create a safe space for your emotions, for other people's emotions. You're creating a safe space for those emotions to live and breathe. In the middle of all this chaos and pain, you can help by doing what you love. How amazing is that? The next reason to compel you to make music right now is to be pointing that healing inwards, because making music is a form of self-care. Now, we just talked about how I feel like all of you found a safe space through music at some point in your life, in other people's music. But I would also bet that most of you had this life-changing moment where you decided you wanted to make music your life. Quick little story. For me, that was like when I was around 20 and I was on stage live for the first time in front of around 40 people about to play a song that I had written. A lot of you know this feeling. Playing a song for someone is like exposing a nerve. I remember when the song ended, there was this few milliseconds where there was silence. And in those few milliseconds, so much of my young self-esteem was just hanging on tenterhooks. So much of my ego was hanging in the balance in those silent milliseconds after the song ended. And then the crowd freaking went nuts. They didn't just clap, they went nuts. They loved the song. From that moment, I was hooked. Music had to be my life. Now, maybe for you, that moment was hitting an awesome note as a singer and watching people react. Maybe it was a more subtle reaction, like a smile while showing off an instrumental that you made in your bedroom studio. Maybe it was someone crying from hearing your lyrics. Crying in the good way. That moment is different for everyone, but I've yet to work with an artist that didn't have it. And since then, every time you play or write or create or sing or whatever it is you do, in some big or small way, you're creating that moment. And I have to tell you, that's not just ego. That's not just a hit of dopamine. That is therapy. You have a comparatively rare ability to express yourself. You have a positive, expressive outlet, and that is gold. There are way too many people in the world that do not have that. It's such an outlet that in the years that I've been making music, I've seen people quit, but then they always come back. Maybe they don't come back to the industry, but they always come back to the craft. It's so meaningful to people that they just can't fully seem to give it up. And maybe you also go to actual therapy or whatever, and that's absolutely encouraged if you do. But creating and performing feeds your soul. I think you owe it to yourself to keep performing, to keep creating as a method of keeping sane in these crazy times. Again, creating is a form of self-care. I mean, as long as you're not drinking an eighth of vodka to facilitate creation or something horrible like that. Now that's a fun question for the comment section. Do you have a vice that you use to create? No judge, edibles, glass of wine, big bag of indica? Let me know down in the comments. So we've established that art is healing to the world and it's healing to your soul. Let's pivot to something a little more career driven, okay, for the last one. The last reason you should be making music right now is opportunity. It's the Wild West out there right now, people. Meaning there are very little rules out there for performing, and the rules that are there are kind of being rewritten. Performing live right now is problematic, to say the least. Aside from some morons who like perform live without masks, with big crowds, and the inevitable spike in infections afterwards. Playing your local coffee shop gig, playing a club. A lot of venues are just kind of unwise right now. But a lot of bands are finding new ways to perform along social media. They're not new, but a lot of them are flocking to the social media ways. I'm seeing live performances explode right now. Twitch, Periscope, Facebook Live, Instagram TV, YouTube Live, you name it. It's happening. One artist I know, aside from playing the streaming stuff, is going full analog, and for a fee, she'll do a private concert out of the back of a pickup within 50 miles of her hometown, and her fans fucking love it. With all the old ways under scrutiny, you have a chance to create a new way to get your music out to people. You can be a pioneer, and that is automatically a way to stand out as an artist. If you find some new and creative way to perform, people will flock to you just because of that, and a bunch of them will stay because of your music. Anyone remember when So Far Sounds was just starting out? That was kind of a neat new spin on home concerts, and look what that turned into. I totally believe that you can find some new cool way to perform too. You just have to allocate some of that creative energy that you normally put into your songs or your craft and throw that allocation into brainstorming some neat new way to perform. Okay, unapologetic segue. You can absolutely brainstorm some of those ideas with us on our new Facebook group. It's a private group, but just mention this channel and we'll let you right in. We wanted to create a community of not just artists, but artists who genuinely believe that helping one another is a way that all of us can succeed together. Healing, self-care, and opportunity, to me, those are amazing reasons why you should keep creating in these crazy times. Go out there, write some music, start a YouTube channel, start a Twitch. Whatever form your creativity takes, stay safe, be kind to each other, keep creating, and go write the next big hit.